So today we're going to be talking about the small tidbit of franchise news, or a little bit of a sneak peek into what we're getting in franchise this year. And this is a huge improvement from what happened last year, where franchise wasn't even on like the stream schedule for MLB The Show 22. It wasn't even going to be talked about. It was only going to be Road to the Show in March to October. But from day one, there has been some sort of news being talked about with franchise, which I think goes to show what we've done in the franchise community to kind of tell SDS that we still really want this mode to succeed. We want to see improvements. We want to see it get better, and it shows that they are listening. So far, what they've talked about, not just in franchise, but in the game as a whole, has sounded really positive. Everything looks really promising. I'm excited to see what MLB The Show 23 brings. And I'm going to be honest with you, when the game was first starting to get announced, the cover athlete and everything like that, I wasn't excited. I was actually pretty pessimistic. I wasn't expecting much. I wasn't expecting to be blown away. I wasn't really expecting to be excited about the game until like day of release, but they've already given me some news that, you know, has piqued my interest. So with that being said, we are just going to kind of cover the news that was kind of put out by SDS, but at the same time, I do want to hear your guys' thoughts about franchise. Are you excited about what you heard today? Are you excited about what you've seen? Do you think the changes that they've talked about is enough to be, you know, just is it enough for MLB The Show 23? Do you think they need to do more? And I'll kind of give my take on that as well. But if you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button. If you're new here, consider hitting subscribe, especially with 23 around the corner. We're definitely gonna be bringing more content, and of course, get in the comment section. That's kind of why I brought up this whole segment, because I want to hear your thoughts all about franchise and MLB The Show 23. Today's video is sponsored by Factor. And Factor's been on the channel a few times already, and you know what? They can keep coming back because I really enjoyed what they put out. No matter your lifestyle, Factor has your back with delicious meals. There's keto, there's calorie smart, there's veggie/vegan, and there's also protein plus. And with those lifestyle choices, there's 34 chef prepared, dietitian approved weekly options. There's always something new to try. Plus, you can round out your meal and replenish your snack supply with an assortment of 36 plus sweets, smoothies, juices, and more satisfying add-ons. And I wanted to point out some of my favorites just because there are some that I've actually had and I've really enjoyed on this menu for this week. As you can see, it's the 11th through the 17th of February, and also they have next week's menu ready for you to take a look at. So I've had this jalapeno lime cheddar chicken. It's really good. This ground beef and thyme cottage pie. It's like similar to a shepherd's pie. That's kind of the closest comparison I can give it to you. But wow, is it good. What other ones have I had from here? The creamy poblano chicken is good. The sweet corn jalapeno polenta and chicken is also good. And then the one that I tried today, the French onion and mushroom fusilini, was amazing. And then with the options, there's breakfast options like pancakes, there's smoothies as well. I actually had the tropical fruit one right here. Again, really solid. And then of course there's other ones as well. Why won't my screen go down? There's a kale wheatgrass juice one. There's a couple different juice ones, smoothie packs. There's also something for your sweet tooth, like the cinnamon roll, fat bombs. You've got the pistachio and raspberry keto cheesecake. Bunch of different options. If you got that sweet tooth, they got you covered. So if all this stuff sounds good, head over to factor75.com or click the link down below in the description and use ANT50 for 50% off your first Factor box. Like I said, I've been using their product. I think it's really good, and it'll definitely help you out for those who don't have a lot of time. Those are looking for some different food options, eating options, and you don't have to go out and order food. This is so quick. It's a 2-minute microwave time. They show up to your house fresh. It's amazing. So again, if it does sound good to you, go to factor75.com. Again, the link will also be in the description, and use ANT50 for 50% off your first Factor box. Thank you to Factor for sponsoring today's video. So let's start it off here, which is in the pre-order section of the game, where you could find on the kind of like the news section, or like the info section. It says franchise mode now includes the new postseason format, schedule, and more CBA updates, which I feel like that should have already been in the mode, you know, like the postseason, all the changes, the shift changes, anything that's kind of changed within the game of baseball that has already been implemented into the game. I feel like MLB The Show, that's something that's kind of expected, right? The new things that have happened, the runner on second, universal DH, all those kind of things that have changed, I'd expect that to be in the game. And for them to say that that's kind of a update for franchise is a little disappointing. You know, obviously I don't want that to be one of the key points that you're trying to push on to consumers of the game, but it is good to know that from the start of the game, we will see those updates. I'm not too sure if we're going to see like the stadium dimension updates. I know the Blue Jays have changed theirs. I think there was another stadium that recently changed their dimensions as well. If that happens too close to the game's release, we usually do get an update within like the first month or two where they do change the stadium, but it is good to see that right away they're saying you will have updated schedules, playoff format, all that stuff. But the thing that really caught my eye was the MLB draft experience has been revamped. Not just like, yeah, we made some changes. It has been revamped. That is the word they've chose to add strategy and depth in managing your organization. So this came out, I want to say like a week ago, right around the time the cover athlete was dropped. The game went on pre-sale. This was the news that came out. And I saw that and I got excited because for me, the draft is one of the coolest things in franchise. You get to add new players to your team, you get to scout, and I feel like it has been lacking quite a bit in MLB The Show. There's not a lot of depth. It's literally just pick a player to scout, hope they scout well, and then boom, you go to the draft and you draft them. It's really simple. It's really cookie cutter. But with this whole revamped to add strategy and depth in managing your organization makes me think that they may have added a little bit more that we're going to have to do in this thing, which is fine. I don't need you to completely make it the most complex thing where I need to worry about every single detail of scouting and drafting, but I at least would want it to be a little bit more interactive. I want to be like, I want to know if I messed up, dang, I really messed up. If I got it right, I put in that work to get it right. I want it to be somewhat of a rewarding system where I know when I draft a player and I get a good one, I'm like, yes, that was the right choice. And so when this came out last week, obviously excited, it kind of tells me that they're telling us that there are franchise updates coming and they're not just like kind of putting it on the back burner, but they're telling us from day one, once the game is able to pre-order, they're telling us that franchise updates are coming, which is a good sign. Obviously in the franchise community, we want those changes. We feel like the game mode has been put on the back burner for the last 5+ years, and to see that they're willing and they want to make those changes is awesome. So again, MLB draft experience getting a revamp, which is awesome. So they tweeted out a video this morning about a little bit of a gameplay trailer. They had some others kind of teasers within the video. And I mean, for a split second, it wasn't even a second. It was probably like a 1/10 of a second. They had this still image on the screen. And so you can see round 1 results. You can also exit the draft, but you have the draft on the screen. And the things that are a little interesting to me is, one, right away, I see bonus demand unknown. Makes me think, are we going to get some new contract options involved in, free agency or scouting? Are there going to be like things where we have to promise players? Are there going to be things where we have to meet to like have a player be interested in the draft? Kind of things like that. So I'm kind of interested to know what a bonus demand is going to end up being. Draft rank for the MLB and draft rank for the team is another thing that's kind of interesting. So are we going to have like our own little mock draft that we can kind of maybe favorite a couple prospects that we've drafted and we're like, we want to kind of like a checklist, a short list of players that we're interested in. And then of course you have what they're actually ranked within the draft, or is that also a mock draft that MLB The Show has put out to kind of give us an idea of what to expect? Another thing that I don't necessarily think is a thing that was needed, but they changed the potential and the overall on a scale of, it looks like it's going to be, 0 to 100, because you can see with the potential it's 65 to 99, and then overall is 56 to 90. And normally when it goes to prospects, it's a scale of 20 to 80, 80 being like elite, like A+, the best possible like tool. So if you have 80 speed, you're extremely fast. If you have 20 speed, you're very, very slow. So I wonder if it's just more to go from that 0 to 100 scale. It's maybe a little bit easier to work with in the coding frame of like the coding world. It's easier just to have everything 0 to 100, or maybe just for the consumer, it's easier to see that as 0 to 100. I know what that is rather than trying to like adjust it for 0 or 20 to 80. So that's a change. I know that MLB does use 20 to 80, but I can also see why they switched it to 0 to 100. Age, the class, if they're a college or a high schooler. You got the doctor exam, which they kind of already had that, which is like the injury risk. So they just kind of tweaked that there. Secondary positions. And the one thing that I'm seeing, internet connection required for online features. And I don't know if this is saying it's like this is just on the screen because of, like a cloud storage or, you know, saving something on the cloud, right? Or are we getting online franchise back? Are we getting some sort of maybe like we can import a draft class? Is that also another possibility? There's a lot of questions here just from this one little screenshot that I think is kind of cool. So there's a lot on the screen. There's a lot of things to take in, and this is just a quick little snippet of what could happen. Do I think we're gonna get a lot of changes? No, I don't. I fully expect this to be our one big change this year, and then they may try to kind of tweak, fine tune some of the other areas of the mode, and then next year they'll probably try to take one aspect of the mode, try to improve it like they're doing with the draft, and then the year after that, so on and so forth. And I kind of like that way of working. Take one thing, really work on it, try to make it the best possible version of that one thing, and then put it in the mode. And then the next year, do the same thing with another aspect. So that way you're not just kind of, I don't like to swear on the channel, but you don't half-ass certain parts of the mode, right? You're not just half-assing your way through it because, you know, you just want to get changes here, changes there, changes here, changes there. Here, they're working on one part of the game mode and they're trying to make it the best possible, and then maybe kind of tweak some things here and there to make it a little bit better. So I'm happy with this thing right now. Obviously, I would like to see a couple more things implemented, but I feel like this is a good move. This is a move in the right direction, and I'm pretty happy about it. I will also say that I was drafted 11th by the Angels, so that was pretty cool to see. Joke, I don't think that's really me, but it was cool to see my name on the screen. Overall, I think this is a great step for STS to show that franchise is being looked at, franchise is trying to be improved, and they are, you know, taking one aspect of the mode that really has been lacking for the last few years, and they're trying to make it better. So do I want to see more? Of course. Do I know, like, I also know that you all want to see more in the game mode as well, and let me know what those things are in the comment section below. I'm definitely going to be dropping a wish list soon. I know you guys are also going to have your wish list, so let me know in the comment section down below, and that's really about it. Let me know your thoughts. Are you excited about the game mode? Again, I know it's not like a complete revamp of franchise mode, but it is a step in the right direction, and I think this is a good thing. So yeah, that's really it. I wanted to break it down for you, give you a little insight if you haven't seen it on Twitter or any of the live stream or like the tweets that they've put out. Again, follow my Twitter. I'm always posting about this stuff, so that's be the first place you can kind of get the news as it breaks. But yeah, just for those that may not go on social media or anything like that, I felt like I would bring this news to you all so that you'd kind of be, you know, filled in, get the info when it comes out. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, drop a like if you did, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.